Hi everybody, I'm here, going live. Just want to make sure everything's good. Welcome. Hi Liz Belbin. How you doing? Everybody's around. I've got my yarn here. Just waiting for you guys to come along. Marianne McGinney. Hello, Marianne. I just like to wait a little bit before we get everybody talking. And before I get talking, I just like to get everybody here. I'm going to see. There we go. If I sit down, what happens? Yeah, that's good. Ah. I can go over there and hook a little bit. Linda Barney from hello from New Jersey. Kathy Hall from Sydney Forks, Nova Scotia. You can come visit us. Hi, Susan. I gotta get closer so I can see. Kathy Ross, hi again from Bayfield, Ontario. Hi, Janine. I met Janine before. Scylla Cameron from the UK. Hello, Scylla. Heather McClure. Hello, Heather. So it's giving me the option to bring some of you on camera. I don't know how that works. We were trying to do that. A lot of you saw us on that, trying to do that. John and I were working on it. Hello, Marianne. Carla Guion. Debbie Johnson. Welcome, everybody from Tennessee. Isn't this great? Ah. Shelly Richardson. Hello. Hello, NTD from Haley Perry. And sister. Oh, Sharon's here too. My sister. They're watching from Haley's studio, Loop by Loop, in Massachusetts, Rhode Island. Oh, I love seeing everybody that comes on. So what are we going to talk about today? Well, something really nice just happened to me, didn't it? Didn't it, Angela? Angela's here with me. She's going to try and if you have questions, Angela. Well, first of all, I'm going to bring you down. There we go, just to see. You can get it so that you can see things there. Wait now. I'm not doing so good with the camera, am I? I just want to see what I can get you at. I came to a new place today because I figured that you want to see us in different spots, in different places in the studio. And one of these days we're going to do an awesome studio tour. But I came in today and this Joe, who works with us, had brought in this gorgeous vase of peonies. And so I brought this out to show you, because remember last week we had the peony. We had the peony wool. We don't have any of that left. It just went just like that. But Angela and them did dye a new surprise for this week. Angela and Mary, they dyed, and so did Greg. They each dyed one. So I'll show you those after. Hello from Norway. Hello.
Ah, Norway.
Hakon? Oh, Angela's been to Norway, haven't you, Angela?
Yeah, my dad is from Norway.
Yeah, your dad's from Norway, I know. Yeah. So she's been, hello, Betty Jean. Isn't this great? From the Laurentians of Quebec. You live in a beautiful place. So what am I going to teach you today? Well, today I want to talk about variegated wools. That's one of the things we're going to talk about, and what is variegation and how you do it and stuff like that. But the first thing I want to talk about is what was in my newsletter this week. Do you remember, did anyone read the newsletter this week? What did I talk about? Anyone know? Anybody read the newsletter? Just if you didn't open it, it came in your email this morning.
My dog ate my homework.
That's Greg in the dye kitchen. His dog ate his homework. So I'll tell you what we talked about. We talked about smiling and the importance of smiling when you see yourself. And so sometimes I'm looking at the Zoom. I'm on a Zoom call with somebody having a meeting. I usually do. My podcast I always do by Zoom, and I talked about the importance of when you see yourself, instead of like looking at yourself really critically, because we can all find things to look at in ourselves that are critical, but looking at yourself and giving yourself a little smile when you see yourself in the mirror. So sometimes I find myself on a Zoom call, I look at myself, and the good thing about Zoom calls is that you know, you should really be looking at the other person, but it's hard not to catch a glimpse at yourself, and it really makes you conscious of your body language and the way you use your hands when you talk and your facial expressions, because we all have these funny facial expressions. Do you have any funny facial expressions, Angela? Like, does like Rich ever say to you, don't do that? Or
Well, it's funny you mentioned that because last
Yeah.
week's video,
Yeah.
I actually caught myself, like, I just kind of looked at the computer monitor and I was just like, stone face, and I'm like, oh no, I look like I'm like angry or something.
I
and
know.
I'm
We
not.
all have those. Like, I have this one. Like, I do this when I'm looking at things, and Robert says, what are you doing? Like, why are you looking like that? But when we catch a glimpse of ourselves, I think it's good to give yourself a little smile. Just, it's a little love. It's called self-care, and put on lipstick, even if you're wearing a mask. Oh, Renee, that's the truth, isn't it? I should put on my lipstick right now, because, well, I have a little bit left on from this morning. I should have put some on. But right before you guys came, one of the students, he just graduated, he worked with me for 6 months, and he helped me revamp my website. And he's moving to Halifax, so we're still going to continue to work together, but just a little bit before he starts his career with KPMG, a big company. And look, what a great guy, what a great kid. Look what he did. He brought me in these, like peonies. He said he went to get poppies, but the woman said, well, if she likes poppies, she'd probably like these, because they didn't have any poppies at the flower shop. But isn't that nice? And just bought me a beautiful card telling me what he learned here. And I learned a lot from him too. He was just it was really a great experience. I think in life it's important to have people to look up to. So I just wondered, like, who are you guys looking up to? Like, who do you look up to for creativity ideas? And don't put down my name, because I know you're watching. But who out there are you looking at and saying, wow, she's, you know, she or he is really creative, and I'm learning a lot from them. You guys got anyone? Yeah, you're in Moncton, Sylvia. Yes, you'll be able to come very soon. So who do you look up to creatively? Your mom, Sandra. You look up to your mom. Yeah, you're right, Allison. You said it's really good to learn from youth. It is. I think it's really important that, you know, that we stay open. And I find that when we hire young people, they're so good with computer things a lot of times, and they just take to it so naturally. So my friend Helen Robertson, she's awesome. That's who you look up to. Sue Spargo. Sue Spargo is a woman that I've looked up to too. I know what you mean. I like her creative energy. Yeah, Kay Fassett, another man. I spent a week with Kay Fassett once. He was here teaching, and we had a great week. The Yarn Harlot. Yeah, she's smart. Stephanie Pearl McPhee. Your sister. Yeah, they're in our families too. I know. They're great. Cindy Gay, great rug hooker and a good teacher. Hey, Mazen, how are you? Yeah, I think it's important. So this weekend, my friend, I got this magazine, Magnolia, from my friend Catherine. She gave it to me for a gift, and I'm getting lots of gifts, aren't I? Yeah, flowers and magazines. But every time I get this magazine from Joanna Gaines, I feel like inspired. I feel like she has something to teach me, and I think that's what we want to look at. I'm Rebecca Smith, folk art. I think that's what we want. Is we want to find inspiration in my life. And my word for the year, if you remember, that we started in January was inspiration, and looking for inspiration. And now I have to find that first it was going to be like road trip after road trip, but right now I'm going to have to find that in other ways. I have to find inspiration in other ways. So sometimes it's a magazine, and like some people, like Joanna Gaines, would be relatively unreachable. You can only reach them through what they deliver, like, you know, through a television program. There's another young woman and her husband who have a television show called Hometown, and I don't know where they are, but they're in some in their hometown somewhere in the States, and they're putting on a television show about changing the creating homes for people in small towns and taking old homes and bringing them back to life, which is what I love. And I look to them for inspiration too. And of course, a lot of us look to Oprah Winfrey and really, really, really famous people. Look what I'm doing. But it's nice. This week I found Tula Pink, and I've heard of Tula Pink before, and as a quilter, and I've heard of her before, but I never really watched her, and I really enjoyed watching her. So I'm hoping, you know, when I find these people, I hope that maybe sometimes I can get to interview them on my podcast or something. So I'm hoping that she will come on at some time. But she had a tour. She had a studio tour of her studio, and I thought, well, I should do that. I should take you like through this whole place and show you everything. So what do I got here? You can't go on the website right away and get it unless you know the name. Under Big Merino. Isn't it gorgeous? It's beautiful. Angela, what was your inspiration when you were dyeing this one? Angela and Mary both dyed this together.
We did. And Mary wanted to play with color.
Oh.
So this is more Mary's masterpiece.
Yeah.
And I assisted, but yeah, we had a blast. She was like a kid in a candy store.
Yep. And this again is Big Sister Twist, and it's on the website. I think there are only 10 skeins, so that's all we'll be dyeing. These are like, Greg asked me this morning, have you ever thought about doing a yarn of the month? I think we're kind of doing a yarn of the week, aren't we? Well, for now. We can't promise that every week, but this one is called Big Sister Twist Garden Party, and it's beautiful. And Greg dyed this, and it is called Lupin Lane, and it is gorgeous too. And it's Big Sister Twist Lupin Lane. So we've got two beautiful new colors, and just watch this. Don't they belong together? Oh, they're gorgeous together. Or with this. Yeah, they're beautiful together. So that's our yarns of the week.
Greg and I are having a little friendly competition.
Definitely. I would say the competition here is, it's friendly with an edge. It's like edgy friendly, wouldn't you say?
Yes.
Kind of. So these are our two new yarns this week. So our peonies, they sold out right quick. So let's talk about variegated yarns. I brought over a Rasta, and this is what I want to teach you today. That when you're choosing a variegated yarn, it's important. So right here, when you're choosing a variegated yarn, if you're hooking it, it's important to think of when the color changes, right? So this goes to purple, to purple, to purple, to purple. Then it goes to green, right, to brown. Okay, so this is one of our Rasta yarns. It might be Araquita or Arco Iris, I'm not sure. So when you're hooking this, if you start here with this one, and it starts changing color, it's important to think about what you're gonna, like, you have to think about where the color is gonna turn up. So I'm just gonna show you here on my frame. And I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna use this one to show you with. This is our Big Merino Moss. We've just restocked it. It's on its way in from the Fleece Artist. And I'm gonna bring you over here with me. And then, so here I am. So here's my moss. Now, every piece is a little bit different, but I like to think about the color. So if this goes from bronze to green to sort of almost a fern green, and I'm hooking a field, and I bring that loop over, I bring that over here like that. A lot of people don't think about this. So there it is, there's my bronze. Now I know my bronze is only going so far, right? So then it's going to change color. So I have to decide, do I want more bronze here? It's painterly, right? You want to be really painterly with this. So I have to decide, do I want more bronze here? So before I finish pulling up what's underneath, I need to decide if I want more bronze here, then I need to bring up the bronze in the same place, but maybe I go 3 wide. Oh, and then it's changing. And when it starts to change, I may want to bring the change over to another area where it's kind of similar, right? Now, I may not want to do that. So now it's changing again. See how it's going with a pale green into a green? And I don't really like the way that's joining together, right? So I'm going to pull that out. And I'm going to take the pale. How much room we got there? So all weekend, I worked on the Tiny Landscapes course. I've also been working on next year's online course. I'm going to take this variegation over here. Oh, now I've got it tangled up. Hang on, sorry. So these lighter greens, I'm going to bring over to the end because I want those to work together. I'm thinking a lot about landscape right now because I've been working on the Tiny Landscapes course that we're going to have. I think we're going to do it in October. I think I kind of want the summer to work on it slowly and build it, and I want to really take my time with this one. So you can plan on Tiny Landscapes for October, and we'll be posting about that probably in August and getting it ready so that you'll be able to come. So now I lift another strand, and remember the variegations change within the yarn itself. So I want to get back to where I have strands like that. So this is more bronze. So I want to, can't find any more like that. Oh, over on the other side. See? That was a phone call. If you call now, it comes in on my phone. So that was totally different on this side than it is on this side, right? Much more brown. Much more green, okay? So I'm just going to go in and get another one with some lighter greens in it. There we go. And I want this lighter green. So I am thinking about when I'm using variegated yarns, I'm not just hooking it higgledy-piggledy. That's a very important thing. Robin Ridley, and there will be no limit to the number who can participate in online for Tiny Landscapes. I don't think we'll have to limit it. You mean unless something crazy happened. But no, we're thinking, we'll be able to take as much as we took for the design class anyway, because it doesn't affect each other. I think for the Tiny Landscapes, though, I may create a Facebook group so that you can post your Tiny Landscapes on it. So there we go. Now, I know that's going into bronze, so I'm going to bring this over here, and I'm going to hit the bronze again. That's someone coming in the door because the studio's open. But see when I hit the bronze, now that dark green comes up again? I don't want that dark green there. So I'm going to clip it right here.
Deanne, Tanya wants to know what frame that is that you're using.
This is the Willow frame. It's my next door neighbor. It's the Willow gripper stand, and it's on I'm going to lift it up for you. It's on a stand, and it can also, I can lift it right off here and put it on a lap. It turns into a lap frame too. It's excellent. And he just makes them by hand, one at a time, and he uses oak and ash. It's really beautiful handmade. His name is Leslie, and sometimes when the roads were bad in the winter, he used to take me and my kids to hockey if Robert was working or busy, because his son played on my son's hockey team. Need to have a conversation, Shed camp suggestions. Should I call after webinar? Yeah, sure. Yeah, you can call after the webinar. Do I hold a hook with either hand? I sure wish I could, Janine, but no. Just hook it. So this green came up, so I want to take that green over here. So variegated yarns, the beauty of them is that you can really, like, everything you need probably for an area is there, but you need to sort of pick and choose. You shouldn't necessarily just kind of hook them willy-nilly. That's what I think. Anyway, that's my opinion. Now, I've got a little treat for you. He does make excellent frames. You received your Shed Camp, Jane, and you love it. I'm glad. So today what I want to do is I want to read to you. I hope that's okay. So we just got one little lesson, and I'm going to go back over
Chapter, and I have a couple questions.
Okay. Do you want to answer? Do you want to ask those questions?
Kathleen was wondering what you use for backing for pillows.
Like for on the back of the pillows, I usually use wool, but sometimes I'll use velvet because I'll just use wool cloth, but my wool cloth is very soft. Sometimes I'll use velvet because I just love, it's so soft.
And the size of the hook in your kits, beginner kits.
It's a medium hook. It's a Studio's hook. Just really simple. Any other questions?
How do you know when your grippers are worn out on your frames?
They don't really wear out. You just clean them. You get a really fine tooth comb and pull it out. I've had my gripper frame forever. Like gripper frames, they don't really wear out. I've heard that before, but I've had a gripper frame for 30 years, and you just have to comb out. Sometimes they do get a bit blunt, maybe, but if it's not sticking, then it's not working, and you might just be able to get a really fine tooth comb and clean out.
Teresa wants to know, do you prefer the floor frame over the
lap frame? I always prefer my Shedicamp frame. I love this frame today, this one here. I mean, you can't beat it. It's lovely. It's our Willow frame. It's $595. It's handmade, and it acts as a lap or a stand. However, if I was to choose one frame over the other, I would always choose my Shedicamp. I think this frame is beautiful, though. So don't forget our 2 yarns, Lupin Lane and Garden Party. And today, I'm just going to read you something. I'm going to read you from my book, Making Time, and Making a Life. Sorry, Making Time was the first one. And I hope you like it. So this is from the section 1, and there's 2 sections in this book. One's on making art and one's on making a life. And this one is called Showing Up. Sometimes I come to the frame feeling a bit pathetic. It's as if I have nothing new to offer it. I have no idea what to hook. In fact, I feel like I've already hooked everything that I could imagine. This can go on for a while, maybe through several rugs, and it can last for weeks. It does not have anything much to do with how I feel as a whole. It's more about my ideas for art, and at times I wonder if something new will ever come. I make simple things, but still I make. I hook studio patterns that I made long ago, or I create big old floor rugs. I hook hit and miss designs until something strikes me. The important thing is that I hook. Whatever I make does not matter. I just need to hook. I need to put my feelings aside and make a mat. A long time ago, an artist told me, you just have to show up. You have to show up every day and do the work. That's our 10-minute challenge, folks. We have 1,100 people in our 10-minute challenge. It does not matter how you feel, and it does not matter if you are inspired. If you show up, inspiration will too, eventually. After 25 years, I've learned that uninspired feeling goes away. Just as in life, you do not have the same zest day after day. Most of us feel a certain level of malaise at times. We find ourselves yearning for something, but we don't know what. We feel there's a hole or an absence of some sort. And it's not necessarily depression, just the human condition. I use we because it would be too difficult to believe that I have this feeling alone. I know I am not alone. There are lucky few of you who have no idea what I mean, but I think there are enough of you who do. We of the human condition sometimes want something, but have no idea. We feel a sadness for some unexplained reason, and we struggle through. When I feel that sense of melancholic longing coming over me, I just try to remember that it will pass. I just try to remember that it won't last forever, because it does go away. It goes away most of the time without me ever knowing why it came or why it lifted. Feelings, even the most intense, do not hold the same intensity forever. When I'm sad, I try to remember that I won't always be sad. And when I'm happy, I try to savor it. Sorry, I lost my place. Knowing that it too will just be temporary. That uninspired feeling will go away. I carry this back into my work. I won't always be showing up at the frame without an idea. I remind myself, ideas will come. So that's a little reading for you today. And that's from my book, Making Time, Making a Life. Gosh, I can't remember anything today. And so I think hooking is more than just about rug hooking. I think it's about all kinds of, I think it's like when you make things, I think it's about making a life, right? It's about just being there. And one thing I would like you to do, if you wouldn't mind, is I'd like you to share these videos with people. We have about 5,500 views a week. So if you could share this video on your Facebook page, and that maybe it'll bring more people to rug hooking, because I think rug hooking, I really know it's true. It does more for you than just give you a mat. It brings you to a beautiful place in yourself when you take time to make things. It's a deepening of the spirit, and it's a deepening of the life. So I hope that you will share these videos. That's it for me for today. I think, Angela, we good? Any questions? We'll answer one more or two questions. I think we're pretty much done.
A couple people asking about the rug behind you.
Yeah, do you want to see it? I'll show you. It's called the Golden Field, I think, isn't it? The Golden Season. Can you see it there? There we go. And see the chrysanthemum sky in it? There we go. There we go. So you can see the chrysanthemum sky and the row of trees, and then there's kind of like a water, maybe river, or who knows what. But it's in November here. The blueberry fields turn a beautiful, beautiful red. And when we do the Tiny Landscapes course, you'll be able to make tiny ones of those. Hey, Angela. Any other questions before we say so long?
Do the Tiny Landscapes have borders?
No, you can put borders on them if you want, but I tend not to because you kind of want that expansiveness.
And Shelley Richardson looks like she had fun doing ice dyeing. I'm not sure what that is.
Oh,
but it sounds like fun.
Yeah, that sounds like fun. I don't know what that is either. You'll have to tell us about it, Shelley. Anyway, I'll see ya. Take care. Yeah, please share the videos. Teach someone how to rug hook this summer. Just invite them over and show them how to do it. It's just such when you teach, how do I hang my art? Someone asked. I use map pins and push them into the wall. When you teach someone how to hook rugs, you're giving them a gift that's more about creativity than about how to make a mat. So, and take care. See ya. Thank you for everything. Thanks for showing up today. Share.